My child, kindness is one of the rarest human assets, yet often the most overlooked and misused. Kind souls are seen as available as people to lean on without a second thought. No funfair, no recognition, just quiet support that others take for granted. And that's human nature. When generosity comes freely, it tends to lose value in the eyes of the receiver. Just like a gift received too often or a compliment given too freely. Kindness, if constantly accessible, can feel ordinary, even cheap, to those who don't truly understand it. Expecting genuine appreciation for kindness is an illusion many cling to, and it's that expectation that ultimately breeds frustration and disappointment. Some are generous with ulterior motives, expecting admiration, respect, or even loyalty in return. They have the idea that kindness works on some form of cosmic bank account where the more you deposit, the more rewards you'll eventually receive. I mean, sure, in the world after this you will, but in this world, I don't think so. It's this misplaced hope that sets the stage for bitterness. When these unspoken debts go unpaid, their resentment grows, revealing that their kindness wasn't selfless at all. It was transactional, a form of bartering disguised as empathy. True kindness operates on a different level entirely. It requires giving with no strings attached, understanding that what you give might never be reciprocated. When people cannot meet these expectations, those who clung to them end up disillusioned, resentful, and frustrated. Perhaps someone told them that kindness is always rewarded, that it will inevitably be returned. But real life is unpredictable. You're not sure that it's gonna come back or not, and those promises are not guaranteed. Putting all your faith in the karma of kindness is like gambling with your peace of mind. Here's the truth. Kindness is a sacrifice, a commitment to lose something valuable, time, effort, or resources for another's benefit. If you give help freely and expect gratitude or recognition in return, it's like setting up a shop for free goods and then fuming when no one pays. Or it's like offering a favor and expecting a thank you lunch the next day. That mindset won't make you generous, it makes you irrational. The reality is that kindness will rarely be valued as much as you hope it will. The people you help are not wired to value it the same way you do, and they don't owe you any specific behavior or response. How people respond to kindness largely depends on their own principles and how they view the world, not on the magnitude of your gesture. And when people grow comfortable with kindness, they often start to view it as their right, not a privilege. It's that sense of entitlement that causes your kindness to fade into the background. At this point, some might wonder why they should even bother being kind if it only results in them feeling disappointed or undervalued. That question comes from those who have been burned too many times, those who have had their good intentions manipulated or trampled. The issue is not kindness itself, it's a misunderstanding of what kindness is truly meant to be. There's a fine line between kindness and people-pleasing, and when you start sacrificing yourself to those who never reciprocate, you have crossed it. They don't need your help, and they don't deserve it if they treat it like an obligation. And the more you try to earn their appreciation with the repeated favors, the more they will take advantage, knowing you'll keep bending over backwards for them. Stop rewarding their disrespect, stand your ground, pull back, and watch how quickly they wonder why your kindness has disappeared. Kindness, when it's genuine, is given freely, without expectation. You do it because it aligns with who you are, with the person you choose to be. If kindness means losing something, then you're willing to bear that loss. But if you're driven by hopes of admiration, loyalty, or validation, then it's not kindness. It's a transaction. And when that transaction fails, you're the one left hurt. Kindness isn't a contract, and the world isn't obligated to recognize it on your terms. Consider this. Real kindness often goes unnoticed, often happens in the background, without any audience to see or praise it. It is not the grand gestures made for approval or accolades, nor is it a favor expecting repayment. It's that small act of helping someone without anyone knowing, without any desire to publicize it. Those who understand this form of kindness are the ones who value it most when they receive it. They recognize its rarity and respond because they see the integrity behind it. Yet even these rare souls are not obligated to meet your expectations, and trying to enforce any will only lead to frustration. Expecting people to behave the way you want just because you have done them a good turn is a path to disappointment. Each person has their own view of kindness, and it's not always aligned with yours. You cannot predict or control their response, so don't try to force it. That mindset will only lead you to bitterness. To act with kindness and expect nothing in return is true strength. It's about having the courage to be kind even when there's no guaranteed return. The world isn't fair, and it does not run on your beliefs about kindness. Yet, by acting with integrity, by standing by your own values without expecting anyone else to conform to them, you keep your power. And that power, not the fleeting admiration or temporary gratitude, is what defines genuine kindness. It's about choosing your actions and letting others do as they will. Because in the end, you are who you choose to be, not what others fail to recognize. To dive deeper into intriguing topics like this, click here to watch more. Wake up.